So we're going to start off with one seam on the crutch, and I'll tell you what that eliminates, the right and wrong, because sometimes you can end up doing the seaming on the wrong sides. Do you want to turn it off for a minute? Okay, so we've done one side of the crutch seam, just seamed it in the center, just joining the two panels up, and one side of the belt. If you remember, my belt has a joint in the middle. Some of the samples that we've cut, they haven't actually got any joints, so you wouldn't need to worry about this seam, but you will have a notch to mark where the center of the back belt part is. Yeah, I don't need the notch because obviously it's a seam line there. Now, the reason why we've attached it in the middle is we're going to look at the wrong side of this, and we're going to attach the interfacing, and then we're going to do the puncher. So the interfacing, I've got this buckram, which is 1.5 inches. It's entirely up to you what size you use. I'm going to just use the 1.5, which is more than enough. So what we've done is we've left the space. If I was using 1 inch one, it would have meant that this turning would have been a bit more, yeah, but the area there is wide enough, and I've got sufficient fabric to turn over and cover that. Now this seam doesn't matter, you can do it either on the right side or the wrong side. Make sure you leave the buckram slightly excess, so you've got enough buckram to cover that part of the slanted part of the puncher. So it's just basically a straight seam, and this is just to hold the interfacing in place. I have customers and viewers who've asked whether you should use the iron-on interfacing. Personally, I don't think that there's a need for iron-on interfacing, because we don't have to iron on. All we're doing is just doing we're already tacking it down with the stitching, and you don't really need any basting stitches or anything because it's quite simple.
One on the side.
It's on that side. One other thing that I'm going to quickly mention, sometimes if you're sewing something in a light color, especially whites and creams, the interfacing has a tendency to have threads and stuff sticking to it. Make sure you remove all the threads, because if you're sewing something white and the thread is stuck on the inside of the interfacing, it will actually show through the fabric, and it's very difficult to take it out once it's been sewn in. So make sure your interfacing is clean. We have a lot of threads lying about, obviously due to the fact that we do a lot of sewing here. I'm not the tidiest of persons because this is just a sewing room, but obviously if you're working from home, then you'd be hopefully be a bit more tidy than what I am. Okay, that's just both the sides of the interfacing tied up. The second seam, we're going to do it on, we can do it on the wrong side, but that sometimes has a puckering effect on the right side. So I prefer to do this on the right side. Now the other bit of advice that I would give is to press this. If you've got experience, you won't have a problem, but I'll tell you I'll show you the difference after I've pressed this, and that you will be able to judge and see for yourself just how easy it is when it's pressed and when it's not pressed. I can't see with the glasses from far now.